Welcome to the Operation Game Night podcast. We're back and we're better than ever. And we're joined by our good friend Vic from Games Emos Games.
Yo,
Games Emos podcast, not games.
I mean, I wish. Imagine if I had a company like that. Oh man,
Games and games and games.
Games and
Also
games
Moss.
and more, and Moss games and more, and we'll throw in coffee there, I guess, or something. I don't know. That's the
Oh.
Moss. That's the Moss part right there.
Have you done an episode about coffee yet? Are you like a third wave coffee guy?
So I am actually not a coffee guy. Actually, I don't like coffee at all. It puts me to sleep. So I'm more of a tea guy. So okay, you know what? We'll change it. I retract my coffee statement. I replace it with tea. So I'm coffee and tea. Games and tea. Games and tea.
All right. So, games and tea. Games and tea.
Games and teas. We like to spill the tea. Spill the tea on our latest and greatest games.
Excellent.
So,
thank you guys. Also joining us is Clay. How you doing, Clay?
Yeah, it's just Clay here. There's no Emos. I'm just Clay, and I have no coffee or tea, but I am happy to be here with Vic. I missed the last time you guys collaborated, and I listened to that episode and just felt like a little fly on the wall, just feeling sad and lonely that you guys talked about Twilight Imperium without me. So I'm here. I'm unprepared, but I'm ready to do this. This is basically an improv show anymore.
Let's go.
What else is this show if not improv? We are just living by the seat of our pants and making things up as we go along. But today we do have a board game draft, very special board game draft where we are talking dungeon crawlers.
Ooh.
Because I have been reading a whole bunch of Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinneman. I don't know if you've heard of this. It's a book. It's a book. It's a great audio book.
Oh.
I've been listening to them all on the audiobook. We'll get into that in an OTF. Right now, I want to hear you guys create a dungeon crawler board game. So we're going head to head. If you have not listened to one of our episodes before where we do a board game draft, I'm going to pull up this shoddy Excel spreadsheet and do things on the side as they talk. But basically, it'll be Clay versus Vic. And the draft goes through 10 rounds. And our contestants start with $30 each. Each round has a different topic, like what combat system, what theme are they applying, what player count is it best at, what do the components look like, and they're going to draft these different aspects of a board game to make the best board game that they can, and maybe at the end I'll pick one that I like better. And so the options during each round range from $1 to $5. $1 is usually the least desirable. $5 is typically the most desirable. And as they spend their money, as we go through the rounds of the draft, they will spend their money. And then the following round, the person with the least amount of money gets to go first. So if you swing big on one round, that following round, you can kind of seize initiative if you think that there's something else there. But, if you continue to spend those high dollar value items, you're going to run out of money fast. And then you might not be able to get anything the later rounds, and those are kind of washes. So you ended up with an incomplete game and probably not one that I'm going to pick or that the people will pick, because we're going to put something out that says, hey, tell us which game you would prefer. So, gentlemen, are we ready? How do we feel about dungeon crawler games?
Oh, man. I love dungeon crawler games. Half my shelf is dungeon crawler games. So
okay.
I'm a big dungeon crawlers. Would you say that dungeon crawler games are more Ameritrash type of games?
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
So those are my niches, Nemesis. Love me some Nemesis, bro. I love me some dungeon crawlers all day. Give me a dungeon crawler over Euro anytime, please.
It's not really my wheelhouse, so I feel a little outgunned here by Vic, but I think
you got the experience though. You got the experience with these drafts, man. I'm going in here blind. I'm ready to rock them though.
I've only played one dungeon crawler, and that's Dungeons and Dragons. So,
yeah, the ultimate.
We also played Nemesis.
We played Nemesis once.
Betrayal's a dungeon crawler, no?
I would also put Betrayal at House on the Hill on that list.
Interesting. Zombicide.
Zombicide. I would put that as a dungeon crawler as well.
Okay, there you go.
All right. Are we ready? Are we ready to jump in?
Okay.
So you each start with $30. First round is what sort of combat system you want in your dungeon crawler. We're jumping right in with something that is pivotal to the game design itself. Vic, I think I'm going to let you go first. I don't have a coin to flip, and you are our guest. So you have roll and compare, that dice attack and defense type mechanism. For $2, we have dice pool building. Maybe you've got like magic dice or defense dice or attack dice, and you're kind of building this pool that you can pick and choose from to attack. For $3, we have card modifier deck, like Gloomhaven, where you have like, I don't know, these different status effects that you can apply to the combat. Right. For $4, we have dice and ability card combos. And for $5, we have multi-use, multi-ability cards, maybe like Unmatched or something like that.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
Well, I am a big sucker for dice. So I really like dice building. Because just something about, building your dice. That $2 dice pool building is calling my name, but also that dice and card ability combo is really nice.
Okay.
To be able to combine it. I'm not a big fan when it comes to card abilities because it's just more reading,
Yes. And I agree with Vic for once.
And I just want to throw some dice, I just want to throw some dice. And the only reading I want to do is what the rules says, and then that's it. We go into it.
Okay.
So I am going to go with the $2 of dice pool building.
I love that.
I think there's nothing more satisfactory of on your turn you build this like little pool of dice and you get to chuck. Especially if you're like starting off with like 3 dice, and then as the game progresses, your dice pool gets bigger and you get to use more combos with it. I'm a big sucker for that, so I'll go with definitely big dice pool building for that one for $2, please.
I screwed that up. I did not change that one. All right, here we go. Clay, what are you thinking?
Yeah,
for your combat system.
I too treasure a good dice roll for combat, but I'm not going to go so far as to add some ability cards because, like Vic alluded to, I'm a little averse to reading a bunch of stuff when I'm playing. And if I'm in the heat of the moment in a dungeon crawler, the last thing I want to do is rifle through cards and try and find abilities. I just want to grab a fistful of dice or even just one very special die and give it a roll and see what happens. I like simple combat mechanisms. So I'm going with just the one, just roll and compare. I want to roll and attack. Yeah. Monster rolls a defense and we see who wins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Okay.
Round 2, dungeon layout. Now, Vic, you spent the most amount of money in round 1 with a whopping $2. So you get to pick how your dungeon is laid out. For $1, you have fixed map / board. It's the same every time. Nothing changes.
Okay.
For $2, you have a random room deck or tiles, kind of like your Betrayal House on the Hill, where you're building it out as you go along.
Oof. Okay.
For $3, you have module tile exploration. So you know what the tiles look like and you build it out ahead of time, but you can mix and match them however you want.
Okay.
For $4, you have a branching dungeon map where you can choose your pathways through the dungeon. And then for $5, you have a fully procedural dungeon generation. Maybe it's an app assisted. That's kind of what I mean by like procedural when I talk about that here.
Gotcha.
It's app assisted, it's AI assisted. It's something that tells you like, here's a scenario. So what are you thinking for your dungeon layout?
Is that branching dungeon map, is that randomized whenever we're choosing a path, or is it kind of generated? We kind of know where we're going.
That's a great question.
Because that one,
I don't know.
Because that one's gonna make or break. If that one's a randomized, I really like the randomicity of it. I do like also the random deck tiles, but if I like being able to choose the path you get to go to and then finding out what happens in that path. More than just random whatever you pull out of a deck. I'm leaning more towards that because I really like the choice of what we're doing. Not that you can't choose with random decks and tiles like in Betrayal, but this is kind of gives you more of a sense of where you're going, especially when it's a dungeon crawler because we're achieving a goal, trying to get somewhere, and you have to make a choice of that. So I'm going to go with that $4 of branching dungeon map. I think we could get some good more storyline when it comes to that.
Nice,
that aspect.
Love it
for sure. $4 on that one. All right, nice.
And all of these are made up anyways, so like you can make it whatever you want. If you say that the branching path is, something that you choose and it leads you down a different pathway versus randomized, like sure, go for it. This is all made up and the points don't matter. So
beautiful.
Clayton, what are you thinking for your dungeon layout?
Yeah, I mean, Vic and I are on the same wavelength here again because I like random tile flips, deciding to go somewhere and then just hoping and seeing what's there. I think that's a lot of fun. I like push your luck games. I like that randomness. So I'm going with the $2 random room deck and tiles.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
Boom.
Dang.
So now, entering round 3, Vic, you have $24 remaining. Clay has $27. For round 3, we have the initiative system. You're entering combat. How do you determine who attacks in what order? So for $1, you have turn order. For $2, we have a speed stat for your character that determines your order. For 3, you have roll for initiative, like Dungeons and Dragons. For 4, you have an initiative track that players can manipulate. So maybe you do something great the turn before, it puts you in line to go first the next time. And then for $5, we have simultaneous action selection with initiative numbers. Let's say you like play cards simultaneously, and those have different initiatives on them that kind of procedurally generate or tell you how to deal with the initiative.
Okay. Who's going first? Who's going first on this one?
Vic, you have $24 remaining, so you are first.
Okay. Jeez, man. Dude, that speed stats is calling my name on that one because that's very, very betrayal-esque, and I really enjoyed that where it's like your speed determines it. And that also can change because like in betrayal, your speed can go lower, so then your initiative goes lower.
Yeah.
So there's always changing. But I am a big sucker again with dice rolling, and I really like that initiative roll because it always has that randomness. So we get to go first, and you get to think more because maybe the person that we need to go first rolled low, so now we got to readjust our strategy and figure out how it is. I'm thinking this dungeon crawler of mine is going to be a cooperative kind of game. So thinking,
okay,
I'm going to go with initiative dice roll because I really like the randomness output, and I like to keep my players on their toes. So
nice.
If the suckiest player or the least stat player is going first, then we got to switch stats up and could end with some very nasty results or some triumphant results that come out and memories are made. So
okay, so initiative dice roll for $3.
Yep.
Clay, what are you thinking for your initiative system?
Oh, I don't know how this plays out in a dungeon crawler, especially if it's a co-op and everybody's selecting an action card that has an initiative value on it simultaneously. But that's one of my favorite mechanisms in games when people select things simultaneously. So I'm going to spend big on this one. I'm going 5. And we're randomly, well, not randomly, but we're selecting a card simultaneously, and that's going to determine our initiative.
Nice.
Okay.
We're going on to round number 4, which is enemy activation system. So players all go in whatever order is generated by the initiative system. Now it's the enemy's turn. So how do they take their priorities amongst the players to attack, to defend, to do whatever they need to do? So, Vic, you have $21 remaining. Clay has $22. So, Vic, you will pick first out of these options.
Okay.
For $1, move towards the nearest hero. For $2, enemy type behavior chart. So if you have like a ranged versus a healer versus a brute versus a whatever it is, they will behave differently. For $3, enemy action deck. So you flip a card and it'll tell you how they move and how they behave. For $4, enemy priority system. Not based on their enemy type, but what character they are actively attacking. They will behave differently for the different, character classes. And then for $5, you have a scenario-driven AI script, kind of like Return to Dark Tower or something, where it tells you how the enemy will react to what you've done. What are you thinking for enemy activation system?
Hot take is I don't really have a preference when it comes to enemy activations. I'm more player-based. The enemies, whatever the game gives me, I'm whatever with. So I'm actually going to go with the classic $1 move towards the nearest hero.
Okay.
I think if that is a great strategy when it comes to when you're playing these games, you can prioritize. Okay, if we move here, this guy's gonna come closest to me, so we should probably like strategize on where we're gonna place our characters, do our actions, and then kind of move out so we can figure out. We can manipulate the enemy movement and maybe cheese it a little bit and funnel them in. So I'm just gonna go with that $1 one. Move towards near zero. Don't need to get more complex than that. Just keep it simple. Move close to zero, and that's it with the enemy turn for sure.
I like it. Clay, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking I'm going to go with the enemy action deck. I don't want to have to do any algorithms in my head or any complex permutations. So I just want to flip a card, let the card tell me exactly what happens, and then I can move on with the fun part of the game. My biggest hang up on a lot of these dungeon crawler type games is doing the enemy manipulations and trying to figure out what happens in between your turns. That tedious stuff gets on my nerves. So I think just a real clean action deck says this enemy moves wherever and does this much damage is sufficient for me.
Keep it simple.
Yep.
I love it. So Clay, with that selection, you have seized initiative for this next round. You have $19 remaining. Vic, you have 20. And for round 5, how does the loot and equipment system work? So for $1, you get gold based on your encounters. For $2, random treasure deck. For $3, you have equipment slots like weapons or armor items. For $4, you have a crafting system where you can combine items or create items. And for $5, you have a tiered loot with these high-ranking legendary items that have special abilities. I know that these are not like mutually exclusive, and a lot of games combine these. But what's the one that you want to guarantee is in your game? Clay, over to you. What do you think?
Can't say it enough, but I love the randomness. I'm going with a random treasure deck. I want to find out when I open the treasure chest what's in there. I don't want to know beforehand. I want to, get in the fight, put it all on the line, and then flip over the treasure deck and be like, oh, it was just a sock. And then have to deal with that. So that's the type of stuff that's memorable to me, is when things don't go the way you're thinking, or on the other hand, they go a lot better than you were thinking. And you're like, holy cow, I just uncovered this super awesome piece of treasure just because I beat this one little goblin up. And that's fun for me. So I'm going with random treasure deck.
Nice.
If a sock is good enough to free Dobby, it's good enough for our adventure.
Yeah, there you go.
That's true.
Exactly. There you go.
Vic, what are you thinking for your loot and equipment system?
No question that I'm going straight $3 equipment slots. I love RPG elements where you get to equip your hero with things. I think it ties in with the tiered loot system as well, so you can get yourself a legendary item, a legendary sword, and equip it on your hero. And I mean, it goes hand in hand with RPGs and dungeon crawlers. So give me that all day. I love that role playing where I get to equip my character with some sick armor and stuff. So I'll go with that for sure.
Great. So you guys are tied. So Clay is going to keep initiative for this round. You're both tied at $17. We got 5 rounds remaining. And for round 6, it is the campaign structure of your game.
Oh, nice.
So for $1, you have standalone scenarios. For $2, you have linked scenario progression. For $3, you have a branching campaign map. For $4, you have a persistent world with persistent choices. And for $5, you have a legacy campaign system with like stickers and unlocks and things that you gain throughout the campaign. Clay, what are you thinking?
Oh, I'm thinking you really baited me into spending $5 here because you know how hot I am for stickers after playing Cozy Stickerville. So that's really turning me on right now is the stickers in the legacy campaign.
Jeez, that was going to be my choice. That was gonna
I'll take stickers for 5.
Yes,
I'll take stickers for 5.
Oh man, I love me a legacy game, hands down.
Yeah, because you're a big fan of like the Betrayal Legacy, aren't you?
Betrayal Legacy, Pandemic Legacy, anything that has the legacy campaign on, except Seafall Legacy. That game was trash, but that's another topic. But anything that's
what's your concession choice?
I'm gonna go $4. Persistent world with choices. I think that's the next. That's be my second choices. Yeah, anything that with your choices affect the world. I love that for sure. I love that in my video games, and I love it in my board games. So
basically just as good.
Yep.
Clay, still with you. Round 7. How does your character progression work? Do you have fixed characters that don't progress? For $1, for $2, you have a level up stat boost where your stats go up, nothing else changes. For $3, you have ability card upgrades. Maybe you put them in nice little sleeveys that have upgrades on them. Little card crafting.
Yes,
for $4, branching skill trees. So you are moving up the skill trees as you go along that develop your different categories of skills. And then for $5, you have unlockable classes/jobs during the campaign. What do you think?
I am staying true to myself, and I am going with level up stat boosts. I think fixed characters would be pretty freaking lame, especially over the course of a legacy campaign. Yeah. But also, I do not, like I said before, I will beat this horse over again. I do not like keeping track of card abilities, and I refuse to do so. So I am just going to have stats that get better and better, and this will make me happy.
I like it. I thought maybe you would go for the card crafting, but Vic, over to you. What do you think? Character progression.
Oh man, I really like that branching skill trees option, but now I'm just leaning. I feel like if I want that option, I'm just going straight into video game territory now. Yeah. And I'm trying to keep it more board game esque. I don't want to get complexity. Leave that to the Skyrims, leave that to the other stuff. Oh man. This is all right. This is gonna be a hot take one here for me, but I am actually gonna go fixed characters.
Oh,
I'm going fixed there because I already have my equipment slots. So that is my leveling up system. My characters stay the same, but my equipment improves my character. So it gives you my characters.
Vic came to play. He's playing the game. He knows what he's picking in previous rounds, and he's building upon those choices.
It's time to play the game. Right? There you go.
I love that choice, man.
I love that. Ugh. Okay, we are headed into the final 3 rounds. Oof. For round 8, we have dungeon events. Clay, you have $10 remaining. Vic, you have $12. So for your dungeon events, $1. No, none dungeon events. Nothing special happens between dungeons. It's strictly combat based or exploration. For $2, we have random trap tokens that will trigger. Man, that's an alliteration. For $3, we have event cards when entering the room that might change the combat, might change the scenario. For $4, we have narrative story events that unfold during the dungeon. And then for $5, we have persistent dungeon modifiers. Maybe this round it has a buff for combat, or it has a boon for this, or a buff, something like that. Something that changes the way that you experience the dungeon as you go through. So, Clay, you have the least amount of money. Over to you for your dungeon events.
Oof. I am torn here. I really locked myself into something big here with the legacy campaign. So I feel like I have to spend a little more than maybe I want to right now.
Ooh.
I wanted to say none because ultimately I think I have enough random things happening in my version of a dungeon crawler that adding some random dungeon events would be would probably push it over the line if it's not there already. But I do think a good story through line in my legacy campaign would be nice. So I think a story event you read when you go into a new room or a new dungeon could help pull it all together. And it can be something you just forget then. I don't want to see that card again. Be gone. We read it. We get it. And it added some flavor. So I'll take the narrative story events.
Okay.
Oh, you killed me, Clay. That was the one I wanted.
You gotta spend more money, Vic. You want to go first? Spend more money.
I know. But, jeez. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I don't like the persistent dungeon modifiers one because it just I don't know. I'm gonna go with the event cards when entering rooms. I'm sticking with the betrayal kind of format where whenever you enter a room, there's an event in there, stuff's gonna happen. You're gonna find out what happens in that one. I think you could tie in with your persistent world choices. Maybe the card could say, if you've made this choice before, then this happens. If not, this other happens. So I think it can get chained up with that choice before for sure.
I like that. Okay. Last 2 rounds. Clay, you run a little short on cash. You have $6. Vic, you have $9. And for round 9, we have the best at player count. This is a pretty standard one that we've done at our previous drafts. So for $1, you have a solo. It's best at a solo playthrough. For $2, you have 2 players. $3 is 3 players. $4 is 4 players. And $5 is 5 players plus. So, Clay, over to you. What are you thinking for best at?
Yeah, 8-player dungeon crawler. Get it?
Yeah, no thanks. I think 2. I'll take 2 for 2.
Oh,
I need to save for the final round. I need to be up there for some of those things I see on the last round. Provided Vic doesn't. Well, if he jumps me, then he can't afford it. So anyway, I think 2's fine. I generally don't like playing games with a lot of people because it just slows things down, and I hate when games take too long. So I'm happy with a nice, tight 2-player dungeon crawler. So I'll take that.
Okay.
Awesome. Vic, what are you thinking for player count?
I'm going 4 players. I think every good game has a good 4-player count game. 5+ is just ridiculous. Like there should not be games that are like 5+ games unless you want to play 4 hours. But I think 4 players is a good solid game. You also have that leeway of playing with 2 or 3 players, so you have that extra buffer there. But 4 players will probably be the best of my game for sure.
Nice, good choice. Okay, final round is component production. This is something that's put on top, little je ne sais quoi for the game. So for $1, you have your standard cardboard standees. For $2, you have wooden pawns, maybe like the root little character cutouts, meeples. For $3, you have hero miniatures. For $4, you have a full set of miniatures for all the characters in your game. And then for $5, you have the big, super giant deluxe miniatures for the bosses, and you get deluxe boards on top. Clay, unfortunately, you are locked out of that choice because you only have $4 left. So, Clay, how do you want to spend your last $4?
I feel like the popular thing in board gaming these days is to, virtue signal about how you don't need miniatures in games and just like, oh yeah, I'm perfectly happy with the cardboard standees. That's BS. Give me all the plastic that my $4 can buy.
That's my boy Clay right there. That's my boy Clay right there.
I'll take the full miniature set.
All right. Well done.
Nice. Oh, man.
Vic, can't take it with you. I'm going to go ahead and assume.
Yes.
You're walking away.
Yes, I'm walking away. Give me that deluxe. Give me those metal coins. Give me those big old bosses. Give me all the minis, all the plastic. I love it. Yes, cool cardboard standees. That's great. If you want to be boring, if you want to get immersed into a dungeon crawler, come on, you got to have minis. You can't just have little cardboard tokens that say this is the Demogorgon or whatever. You got to have the thing, you got to have something to represent the world.
Make me feel something.
Yes, please. So
such
massive
presence.
Yes, I need to feel it. I need to feel the intensity of what I'm playing with. All right, Cthulhu's coming after me. I need to know what's happening.
That's true. The Cthulhu games do have excellent miniatures.
They do
for the most part.
Oh my god.
Okay, so you guys spent all your money. Well done. Ended up with $0. So Clay, you have a roll and compare attack and defense dice combat system. You've got random room deck tiles that you're drawing and placing. You've got a simultaneous action selection for combat initiative. You've got an enemy action deck that specifies what the enemies are going to do and how they will react. You've got random treasure deck. You've got a legacy campaign with stickers and unlocks. You've got level up stat boosts when your characters move through the dungeon. You've got narrative story events. You said like when they walk in a room, you flip a card. It might have a little bit of story text, and then you move on. You've got best at 2-player counts, and you have a full miniature set. Now, I know I should have said this right from the front, but I put this as a dungeon crawler game draft, but it doesn't have to be specific to a dungeon. So Clay, build out this game for me. What are you envisioning? What sort of like enemies are you facing? Talk to me about your game. Flesh it out a little bit for me.
I think we're going to go with a theme that's just never been done before. And that is a nature theme.
Okay.
I think we're going to be ants are popular. I did that last time. Let's go with where it's an ants exploring a colony dungeon, and then there's different bugs. And as you tunnel through your little ant colony, you know, maybe this big dung beetle comes out and you have this big dung beetle battle. I am leaning into the nature themes, specifically ants and bugs. I watched The Bug's Life the other night.
Is this like, you think this is part of the same line? Like,
yes.
Your Civilization game that was bug themed, and now you have the dungeon crawler.
Yes, I'm not very creative.
He created the Bug's Life, the board game.
Yeah.
He created
Hopper's the final battle.
That big old nice miniature.
Yeah.
That's right. So Vic, you have a combat system that's based on a dice pool build. You've got a branching dungeon map where you can choose your own adventure, kind of walk your way through your dungeon. You get to choose the path that you go down. You've got initiative dice rolls for turn order. You've got enemies moving towards the nearest hero automatically between turns. You've got equipment slots where you can equip weapons, armors, items to your characters. You've got persistent world choices that will follow you through the dungeon. You've got fixed characters that pair with your weapons and armor and item slots. So they don't necessarily level up or anything, but you can equip them with things that make them better and stronger. You've got event cards when entering rooms. That was your dungeon events. And then you're best at 4 with a massive boss, deluxe boards. You've got all the plastic. You've got all the coins. You've got all the paraphernalia to make this game excellent.
Yes.
Flesh it out for me. What are you thinking? What is your board game?
So I am with Clay where I'm stuck on a certain thing. You know, Clay was stuck with bugs. I am stuck, and I blame you, Travis. I am stuck on zombies. We've been talking about Resident Evil, and I'm digging the whole zombie vibe. There's plenty of zombie games here, so I'm going more towards story-driven zombie game. You're a squad of 4 assigned on a mission. And you don't know what is happening with the world around you, but everything seems to be going chaos. So you're entering this laboratory and you're making your choices and figuring out what is happening. Why was there a distress call? Why is your squad sent out here? And as the story goes, it's not all that it seems. And so keep your squad alive, and you have different types of zombies, different types of mutation creatures as you go deeper into the game, bosses, mini boss fights, events that happen throughout the world. And your choices matter because it'll dictate what kind of ending you might get at the end of the game, or who lives or who dies. So right. I'm going more towards why, because Resident Evil's been on my mind a lot. So thanks, Travis.
Yeah, thanks
for a good cause.
Yeah, for a good cause.
Well done, gentlemen. I don't think I'm going to pick. I would play either of those games. That sounds great. And I love me a good dungeon crawler. All the ones that we've mentioned thus far, I am in love with. So, well done. I'm going to let the people decide.
Ants crawl.
Mm.
Yeah,
so there's like a double meaning there.
I'm going to have
the zombies walk.
A dungeon crawler that's about babies crawling through like their living room, and that is the dungeon.
Oh my god, that's actually a brilliant idea.
That's actually
dungeon crawler.
That's the board game.
That doesn't even have to be good. I mean, we can literally slap a couple mechanisms on that, and the theme alone is going to sell. We're going to Kickstarter.
Oh, there it is. Dang. We can expect you at those cons. Gen Con, we can expect you there. With that.
All right.
Oh, man.
Well done. If you're listening to this episode, if you're watching this episode, let us know which of those 2 games that you would rather play. Go check out Vic's page, Games Moss Podcast. They're on YouTube. They're on Spotify. They're on TikTok. They're on Instagram. They're on Facebook. They're on everything. Apple Podcasts. They're on.
Yep.
You could find them probably at your local grocery store.
Yeah.
Vic is doing good things. Go check him out. Go check his page out. Go give him some love. Go give Clay's mustache some love too.
Yeah.
Write in the comments how much you're loving Clay's mustache because it's creepy and gross.
Yes, it's not a good look, but this was a punishment for Mary. She gave my beard a lot of flack, and I said, "Well, if you think that's bad, wait till you see what's next."
My goodness!
Now
I
she's
can't
gotta
wait
deal
till
with this.
the soul patch comes in.
Yeah, there it
afterward.
is. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be nice.
Dang. We have
All
different
right.
stages of facial hair right now going on. We got clean, mustache,
Yeah,
and full.
that's great. Nice,
Yeah.
the phases.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get out of here. We have, tap danced enough for Operation Game Night. I have been Travis. He has been Clay. He has been Vic from the Games Moss podcast. Thank you for joining us, and we are out.